Okay, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hopefully, everyone is doing fine. And today, I'm streaming just to show you guys how I use or utilize the indicators that Katherina has made. And I wanted to do this on both the Discord servers in Poison and in Cats 10, but I didn't test the whole thing, and now I can't share it because there is a limit of 10 minutes and something before I can actually share it. So, first things first, I basically the very first thing that I use is my Winco indicator, and that is uh, the one where I can possibly put out what you called key levels, areas where I can expect the market to head towards or go away from. Like we have various zones, red zones, bearish zones. These are the retested zones. These are the bearish zones, but are the retested ones. And I also need to change one more thing, which is um, the bullish retested zones, such as this. So these zones are already in the market. They have been they have proven their worth, and usually they come back to it, they hit it, and they move away from it. So these are the basic things before we move on. So first things first, when I move on, because I have a proper plan, I come from monthly, weekly, from those who know me. I look at my different charts and different time frames to frame things around. And when you're trading in such manner, you always need to have some plan. Without plan, you cannot trade this thing. So always previous week low, previous week high, other side not swept, does not make sense. You cannot trade inside the range because it's range bound. So what do? You just skip it. Don't try to force anything. And usually when you see your win call, it does also show you what you call levels at your weekly chart. So you try to avoid such areas when there isn't anything up or below or near your objective area. So as of now, there isn't anything. It hasn't swept anything. So okay, I'm not that interested, but we'll see. I'll jump onto a lower time frame, like a 12-hour or 4-hour. Let's say 4-hour in this case. Let the indicator load, and okay, nice. So now you see there is a portion where the market was bearish. It gave a, let's say, before in time, when you go back in time over here. Why can't I select a bar? Okay. Also feel free to ask questions in the meanwhile. For some reasons, this thing is slow. I don't know why. For some reasons, it's loading up very slow, but bear with me. And there you go. It never loaded that up, but never mind. Just wanted to show you that once the area comes in and everything else, how we actually. So once the area came in, and this is a bearish zone for me, now I have something in my mind. If this is a bearish zone that I'm trading, looking at as a bearishness, and if I follow my rules, like where I have my failure to expand, my OB model, my hold on a second, let me just mute my OB model, my other models, and whatever you trade, FVGs, whatever it is, blah blah blah, doesn't matter. It only matters if you are following the rule and your daily protocols that you would look at while trading, and you just add them onto it. So in this, I know, okay, this is a bearish zone, an expansion, a failure to expand, bam, right there. This is my failure to expand. Okay, I know for a thing. Now I'm looking at a reversal or something. I have a zone that is forming later on. It doesn't form at this specific point, and I wait for this candle to close before I take a trade. So since this candle has formed and I have a zone, it is coming back into it, I can refine this entry and jump onto a lower time frame. This also becomes a dealing range if you're looking at this logic. external internal liquidity swap, retracing back into the range. This becomes your big OB. Okay, this up candle becomes a big OB candle, and you can also take a trade off that as well. So lots of things, like you can find confluences with this and you can trade off with it. So like I said, came in, you could trade in that, probably short, and bam. What are you targeting? Most likely I don't target like things like opposite, because I could take a trade from this back into this, or from this back into that, which absolutely works. But I am not targeting in such manner. I just look for, like liquidity pools where I have, such areas relatively equal lows, uh, swing lows, all these things, they are way more easier to target than sometimes the opposite end zones, like bullish or bearish zones. So I go with that idea. Then you just move on with this thing, keeps on coming back and playing around that area. Market opens, dumps, and here we are right now. So we have a zone that has already shown its worth. If it is coming back into it and you see like something on a lower time frame that supports your idea, you can put a stop, or you can enter this and put a stop above this. It is fine. That's how I personally like to utilize this thing. But my personal favorite is, once you see something coming back into your area, a bullish or bearish zone with wind call, you start looking at your lower time frame signatures or your higher time frame signatures, which can help you navigate price and tell you, okay, this is gonna happen or this is gonna happen, right? So next is, so once I have this area and I'm like, okay, probably it's this or either it's this, I'm gonna put this thing on over here, because once you change the time frame, it goes away. So this is the H4 area for bullishness, bearishness. You can just type this thing, bear and bull. So once it comes, you look for your lower time frame entries, like I said. So as of now, see this thing. Now once you come lower time frame, you have more areas. This is a high time frame H4 area. Now this is a H4 buy area, but now you have a H1 sell area that is telling you, okay, this is tapping into this, and most likely it won't even go back up there. You have a probability that this thing is going to touch this thing and just walk away from it. So if you mix up 2 or 3 areas, like an H4 area or a H1 area into an H4 area, or your H4 areas into your daily areas, like see this thing, H4 areas, probably on daily you might have something around it, because we are in extremes, so it's very tough for things to happen at extremes. I don't think there's anything over here. Yeah, we just have this thing which is lower but nothing on the top. So H4, you have H1 sell area inside it. Again, like I said, if you have your lower time frame models like this, it could be a probably dealing range, you come back into this thing, you look for your lower time frame entry, OBCSD, and you'll be selling this thing right now, because it makes most sense. So you can just plot this thing on your lower time frame. My bad. Where H1 jumping onto lower time frame. See this thing. See this expansion. Expansion going into there. This is a, what is this? This is a bearish zone. One second. Why didn't this pop up? Okay, weird, very weird. I make it a different color. Purple. Okay. Still very weird. It's not showing up for some strange reason, but it should show up. It is supposed to be here, because I know that for a fact. So whatever, it comes into it because, like I said, I mentioned it. I'm gonna put this thing on over here. This thing. So H1 bear area. I will just take this, bam and bam. So see this thing, it comes rightly inside here. This is the wick, comes inside here. You're looking for your model OB CSD. You're selling this thing. You could be taking something over here or jumping onto a lower time frame like an M1. You could be looking at this thing. Expansion, fail expansion. This could be your OB, this could be your OB, or this could be the OB because it is taking internal liquidity. Bam. Stop right there. And this is where you go. It's that simple. You don't have to be very smart or genius to take this thing. You just have to be just a normal person who can just click a few buttons, find an area, and that you go. But now here's the best part. I just don't trade this thing off just looking at levels. I have my good friend, which is aka Axia or Axia or whatever you want to call. It is up to you. I have different ranges and I have different things around it. Let me just also see Discord if you have any questions. But the short was nice. I took it to my account, so I was also monitoring that. Okay, so Axia is something that I think so we had a call about it last week. It is something very fascinating. We have different ranges in time. Like I have different ranges. My good friend KX has different ranges, so you can actually look at those ranges and pair up key levels to trade around. Okay, so right now this range was like done within what you call London time. I was looking at this thing, did a very nice. See this thing, how it comes back into areas like this. Once you hit it, 75% probability has been hit. You can probably expect this thing to go back in. So what was the probability of this thing? Keep percentage. So the probability of going back into this was 90.6. And 61% was right there, and 75% once you close above this thing. So you could have taken trade from here up until there, then probably into the 61% if you were holding, and so on and so forth. But if you had paired this thing with something on a high time frame, it would have been even more beautiful. So let's just mark this thing and jump onto a H1 or something. So see, it's not gonna give you a level at H1 every single time. So see this thing at H1, there is no level. It didn't even touch the H4 level, but it did move away from it. But it went to a bearish level and bam, drop from there, meltdown from there. So it doesn't have to always tap into the right areas, but it would be going to somewhere else and then give you another trade. So I use this along with the ranges I have, and so as of now this range has been done. I can show you the another range which I would trade which is the NY range. I basically don't trade the very early morning sessions. So I have two ranges for NY. This is a useless one, and this is the one I'm interested in. Well, this thing actually smashed. So let's just go back and put up the let's just put up this levels. Oh, sorry, my bad. So this indicator, I think it's for the legends, or I think some other tag you have to pay. You have to be in other category of membership. But I would say this is one of the most worth it indicators after wind call, and this thing is just like brother and sister, and they both go very well if you have them. Like you would love them, and I'm 100% sure this thing is worth every single penny. Okay, once you have this indicator, you can set up the times, reference sessions, trade sessions. Reference sessions is basically your area from here to here, the area that you want to trade, and your trade session is basically the time when you want to trade this whole range. So like I set it from 1 to 9 and then 9 to 11. I don't know where did I get this range from, but I did get it. I can't even remember, but I'm using it. But we are trying to find something better as well, and it can be improved, I'm 100% sure. So let's just put this thing down bottom right. So Monday, it mentions everything. Once you click on these filters, there's everything mentioned on the bottom, so you don't have to worry about being right or wrong. It'll tell you everything. So it says Monday, middle third, bullish 100%. Okay, it opened in upper third. Okay, cool. So since it did, and I have around 33 sessions, I could actually manipulate with it, and I could like switch off one of these to get a few more sessions if I want to, or I could, if it does not change. So let's say if I change from I just took the day of the week out of it. From 33 sessions, it goes 200 sessions. But then the accuracy of it changes because we are on a Monday, but the remaining things are different, like same. But when I untick this thing or uncheck this thing, now it's gonna show me the probabilities or the percentage from every other session that has happened the same thing. Like opened on a middle third, it is bullish, and the trade session opens in a upper third. So it'll be collecting data from every other day, like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so on and so forth, of this time. And then gives me this data which is like around 200 sessions, and then it gives me the key levels around it. So as of now, I think the Monday is good enough because we are not in the red. That's what Cathy said to me, like if it's not in the red, you're fine. So market opens at 9:30, and before 9:30 this was already swept. So you had a very extreme 75% area which was supposed to be hit. It did actually hit. And what do you hit again? Like if you just come on the chart like 15 minutes ago, mark your things. You have your H1 level up there. You have your area of you want to see after you take the highs, 75% hit. You are looking at your model like an OB model or a failure to expand or any other different model. It can be anything. It does not have to be what I say or what everyone loves. It can be anything. It could be RSI. It could be what do you call MAC average, moving averages, whatever it is. You can trade any one of those and still find consistency with this specific trading model. I took this short just based off the win call area and what I had in my mind. So that's all it takes. To me, when I was selling this thing, I was like, okay, it hit the H1 area. This is a 930 low, close below right there. I took 15 contracts and I closed, I think, somewhere inside here. And that's how you do it. So 75% probability hit. I had my win call area. Once I hit that and came back inside the range, there is a 45% and 40% probability, which means out of 10 times, 4.5 times the market would go there, and four times it will go there, and 6 times it won't. It's still a probability. It's up to you to risk about it. It's not a very high percentage probability, but if you go on the previous days, there are instances where it has been 72%, 75%. It has what? Well, this is another low one, but still. I think that you need to go back on the day to actually get it, if I'm not wrong. Is that right, Cathy? I have to go back on the day and change settings. But there are days when you get 95%, 90%, 85%, and so on and so forth. Those days you can actually just look at those areas and be like, okay, wow, this is 95%. It hits my win call area. There you go, bam, like this trades. And I mean, it's very straightforward. You just need times. Like I think so. The time over here. Let me just see if I can also percentage will hit. So see this thing. This one upper third bearish and middle third. See this thing. We had an 89.5% probability of coming back to this. So once the trade session starts, it has an 89.5% probability. It came right away. Let's suppose there was a wind call area on a 5-minute or a 10-minute or a 15-minute chart, and you had a 71% probability. You will definitely take this trade, pushing off to that. And then later, once you close above this thing, there is 75% probability. 7 out of 10 times, almost 9 out of 10 times, and 7.5 out of 10 times this thing is going to happen. And if you have your areas around this thing, you are definitely taking the trade. You cannot see the area because either this thing, either there was an area, it pushed away, and this thing came and crushed it because, of course, volatility. And we don't mess around with volatility because that's not what we're supposed to do. But came and crushed it. But whatever, the idea is simple. Again, it had 63% probability of hitting this thing. So once you came here, 63% probability, bam. And then you had a 75% probability, 7.5 out of 10 times. So if you're continuing the move and you wanted extra profit, means you're being greedy. You're selling from all the way down there, from up there, and reached all the way down there. You're still being greedy and you want that. Yeah, there is a probability 7.5 out of 10 times. And this is just I'm just pulling your leg, but yeah, of course. I mean, if you have such high probabilities and you trust in your areas, you're definitely going for this thing. Now see this thing. It has hit this thing and it has moved away. This has become a zone. But would you trust a 1 minute zone without any other reference? I would not. Like every other thing, it has to be, there has to be a context, there has to be your key areas. You wouldn't trust such things. Not every M1 zone, not every M5 zone, not every H1 zone. Now, if it comes back to an H1 zone, would you trust this being long or that H1 being short? Of course, higher time frame has always a higher probability than the low time frame. You would not trust something else. So your ranges around the time and your key levels will help you navigate the price. Now there is a 1% probability, I mean 1 out of 10 times or 10% probability that this thing is gonna come back, hit this thing. 1 out of 10 times this happens. So I'm not sure if I would take the risk on this thing, but if your high time frame narrative and other things support the idea, but then sure. But if it was 70%, definitely. If it was 70%, I would have a short position coming all the way from the top into this because it is a probability, and that is gonna happen. So that's how I actually utilize these indicators. Wind call 1 to Axia, and I have been testing a little bit about uh, Reverso and Kaizen. This thing is fantastic. This specific indicator Reverso. If you could just jump on a time frame like a high time frame, and I remember on Friday I took a sell, which actually helped me pass my account. It was on an M15 chart, I think so, M15 or something, M30. I took a sell inside here. I remember around 10:30, and I caught this thing. It went back up again. So this is like I think so a moving average line, and even right now you can see it's just playing around with this thing. You could have caught this thing the moment it was getting back below this thing. Could have sold this thing. Would have been what? Let's say you sold from here. Easy, 80, take 50 I suppose, or 40, not bad for a stop above this thing. And it also gives you information about it, like once you're below it, the average time below is 15 bars, so you can expect 15 bars below this thing, and longest below is 183 bars, and everything. It's like it has data built in with it, and I'm not sure how Cat actually coded this thing, but it's fantastic. I think so. It can be done. It can be improved even a bit more. But I think so. It's really nice. I don't know how can we improve this thing, but what it already is very much nice. Like now, suppose you have everything on like not this wind call, and that's it. Suppose you had your H1 level, because of course H1 level right there. See this thing? H1 level is there. It tapped into this. Your M15 actually went below this thing. It dipped below that. If you're trading the total soup of previous 15-minute candles, swept, CASD will be inside there, any FEG or something, and bam, you're targeting inside liquidity, internal liquidity. Without even having this, I know it's going to go in here. And if something that is statistical and is good enough, that can give you the edge. This is the edge. This basically is the edge. Over here, this written on the side is the edge. This on the right side is your edge. It tells you what's the average time below it. 8 bars. No, 15 bars, my bad. So if it's 15 bars, that means I can have 15 M15 candles, 15 M15 candles below this line once I close below. But if I'm a bit aggressive and I can take the risk, I would take a sell once it's going below this thing, because it is hitting a logical level on H1 and I can take a trade of that. So I can be safe even if I don't take money over there, because the average is supporting my bias. And if I'm in sell, I can put stop above this thing and bam, walk away with it. I don't have to put a 50-point stop or a 100-point stop and worry about this thing. This is giving me my edge. And if I don't take a TP over here, I can take a TP still because it is still rejecting the idea. So yeah, that's how I use reverso. There's another fantastic indicator that she has, which is Kaizen. And I was testing this along with a friend on Friday, and it is something really really nice. It's something similar to Axia, but it is coded into your H4 canals or H1 or 1 day, 6 hour, 12 hour, depending on your taste and your likings. I usually don't keep this up heat maps. What I just have is the X star, the open, and the other probabilities where it's gonna close, or so on and so forth. So once it gets hidden, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. But in the meanwhile, any questions if you have, please feel free to ask. Okay. So when it says H4, it's going to target every H4 candle. So let's suppose before it hit this thing, there was a 50% probably it's going to come back into this. I think that's how I understood and how I'm trading it. And don't take my word for it. You can go back test it and you can trade yourself and you would have an idea. A very low probability, 50%, 40%. I'm not a huge fan of this thing. I like higher probabilities because who loves lower probabilities? 61% probability and 55% probability. But there's a table on the right, top right, it says the probability of hitting star before X, which is aka this star or this star before hitting X, is 72.17%. If this is 40% and if this is 80%, and let's suppose I'm taking a very small position from right here to there, which is a 10 point. Let's be logical and say I'm not taking this, but let's suppose we took this thing. I have a 72% probability that this is gonna hit and an 83% probability of that specific area to be hit, which is a very high probability scenario. But we're not here about small positions, so let's just forward in time. I'm not taking a trade until something is hit and then I know what to do. So usually you want to see the stars hit before X's. So bam, 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 bam. Okay, the stars have been hit. Now you see the probabilities of the X has changed, 73% and 77%. Now if you have this, and where is my good friend Wincall again? And if on low time frame, if I can find structure that supports either idea of hitting this or either idea hitting this, I know what to do, right? I hope it doesn't crash. I hope it does not. Okay, so let's suppose I'm here on H1. There is nothing on this level, but I'm not sure why the hell is this not showing lower on my time frame. I'm really pissed about it. Oh, what an idiot I am. Found it. So there's nothing on this that supports the idea, okay, this thing is going to tap that and go bearish. We don't talk about things that don't exist. So no wind call area, no wind call buy area. Okay, cool. Maybe 30 minutes. Nope, nothing, nada. All right, cool. I'll go back to my H1. H4, but on lower time frame. And wait, no way, this thing moved. Why did this move? This is sometimes TradingView is actually nonsense. Hold on, 15 minutes. My bad. Is it slow for you guys, everyone, or is it just me? I feel like it's slow for me. There's something wrong with this. Okay. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, cool. So I hit that. Now we went there. We saw there was nothing that was supporting our idea. But now see this thing. There is a M15 buy area or wind call area where the indicator says we can expect long coming from. There is 77% probability of there, right there. I have two things. One, my wind call area, bullish area, and one, a high probability target up there. I can add more things. I can go on a high time frame, add more things, but it's not working. But this thing, as you see, has a jump on really quick, and it has hit that mile marker, and see, bam. No. This is it can hit. It has probabilities, uncle. You're way old. Okay, and as soon as it hits that, the percentage of this changes up, and I think so. That's what it is actually. I'm not sure. Cat can correct me because I haven't played with this thing for long, but what I have played, and it tells me that it's in such manner. The probability change, I think so. Being me and Expo will check trying it the day on Friday. So once it hits that 77%, you see how the probability of this changes to 88.89, and I think so the next kind of hits this thing. But again, we can go back, look for more examples, more samples on this thing. Yes, you're using it correctly, Uncle P, you're using it correctly. So it hits that. Now we have a newer H4 candle as well. 1 second, before we go on the newer H4 candle, I wanted to see if it hits it or not. I have this curiosity about it. Or you're using it incorrectly. I'm not sure if it's you or it's me in Expo. But I see Expo here. Hello, Expo. No. I don't think so. Uncle. It's like that. So it hits that, and bam. That is it. So that's that. It actually hit it. I think that's how it's supposed to be, but there has to be clarifications from sis. I'm saying from cat. So cat, you could just double check this what I'm saying later on. And now again, open ups, and we have star hit before X 72.1%. Right away from the bat, it hits that upper star, and then it probably can go hit in the lower star, but that's a very, very low percentage. We have 61 on the top, 70 on the bottom, and so on and so forth. So that's how I use different indicators that Katherina has. Why am I saying sis? I don't know why. I think I was talking to her today morning, but okay. That's the different indicators that I have, and that I use. I also have a few more things that I use in Confluence with, and they make it way better. Like I said, you need conferences with everything. So what I showed you is itself a model of trading and how you can work around with this thing. Except the Kaizen part, you need to double check that. But other than that, I feel like everything what I've shown you is the way it's supposed to be. And yes. One second, my monitor is broken. Do you cycle range? Do your cycle ranges change on Axia? If you change it from 2 to 5, okay. You want me to change it? Okay, no worries. I can do that for you. Bam. So John here says it's all right, John, we can test it, no worries. It says 2 to 5. And what would be the trading session? Let's suppose it is 5 to 8. So different ridges, everything has different ideas. So let me just hide you, brother, for a moment. And what is it? It's lower third. Okay, so see this thing now. Now this is another time range in Axia. That's how I think so export teach me to pronounce it. So you open up right there, 64% probability it's gonna hit that. See, it is gray. It's not green actually, and green I believe is above 70. And these things are the ones which are red, which have very, very low probability of hitting. So market opens up, bam, hits that. Now once you hit it, you have a 75% probability of getting there. Chops, 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 internal sweeps, all the goodies that you all know. I believe a few of you are ICT traders. Internal sweeps, OB, CAD, bam, target hit, and the rest is history. So different ranges, everything would have different idea. Let's see. This thing is wrong, I think, so I can just go back in time right there. And I need to choose which is as replay mode. And what do I need to change? Okay, it's Friday. Upper third, no, sorry, upper third, bearish, and lower third. Okay, cool. So this is from Friday. Your indicator said you had 60% probability, again 6 out of 10 times this thing is gonna hit, and you could trade this thing early before the NY market opens up. Or if you have any confidence around it, for sure you can trade it. Once it hits, this thing is changed to 8.7, I believe, because before this it should be a bit higher, because percent, yeah, see this thing, before this was hit it was 47.4% and 21.1% and 13.2, but once it is hit, see this thing now. Okay, now see this thing. Okay, thank god this came up. My bad. Okay, right there. I hate TradingView at times, it is so shit, but okay. Where did you go, brother? Come on, man. Okay, now this thing is not gonna come up. Crazy. Okay, so you had a signal from not a signal, let's suppose a zone from win call, bearish zone, and it has a, I would think this is an OB coming back into the range. Probably if it comes back in here, I would sell this thing, and because I trust, I need to trust what do you call my indicators and my data to actually trade. So this is how I trade it. You could extend it to that 75% area, but I think this is enough. If it comes, I get a trade. If it does not, I don't. That's it, simple. Once it is hit, this is invalidated. If it shows you up early, then you can probably take this thing early. But if it does not, then this thing is a missed trade, but a very beautiful one. And yeah, see, it's in front of you guys, like how you can trade this thing. If you also have Kaizen levels around it, so it has almost hit every single thing except the one up there. So like I said, 91% probability, probably it's gonna push back up higher. The hour ended, beautiful. And let's see how it plays around with this thing. Eventually it hits the 8.7 and 4.3. This was from Friday, then the very top it hit on, because I remember it from Friday. And yeah, that's how, guys, this thing is about. So any questions you have regarding this thing, you can change ranges, you can test different ranges, you can create your own ranges, like probably 5 to 8, and trade the session from 8 to 10. So change some numbers for this thing. Cut the replay mode. You need to turn this thing off so it does not mess with you. Monday, middle third, bearish, middle third, right. Right off the bat, the market opens. I mean, the such trading range opens. 85% probability and 76. Right away, sir. So if you just go over here, if I go back again, then it's gonna have to change everything. But let's say 84% tap, it hits it. Now you have 46.2% and 50% probability, but I'm sure it was something higher and then it changed, or something lower then it changed. Once it hits, again same thing, 75% on the higher end, bam, pushes, area hit. Now you know there is only 50% probability that 5 out of 10 times it comes back, it hits for this thing. But did you guys notice something? See this thing. Whenever it's red, try to avoid this thing. But if you really want to trade this thing, if it's red you can do is this again, probably turn off one of these, and it can give you probabilities without the specific day, but other things would be same. And 55.8% is not bad, but it's not the best as well. So yeah, that is how I do it, and how I would want probably everyone else to trade. Like, not exactly the same. You would have different sessions, you would have different ranges, you would have different idea behind it, and different confluences and context with every trade you take. So yeah, so feel free, guys. Any questions, kindly let me know. Kindly let me know. I'll be happy to help you with that. Nothing? Nada? No? Nope? And one more thing, this thing can be used on any asset. It does not have to be NAS. So if you jump on YM, and you would have its own probability. So say this thing, on YM it was 68.6%. Once you open it up, bam, hit, gone. The probabilities decrease because it reached specific levels. And see this thing, it does not turn away randomly. It has areas. It has specific logical areas where it turns from. See this thing? It's not a joke. I'm just kidding, man. But yeah, that is true. It does not turn from random areas. It does not. And I think so. If I see reverso, it would show me that this thing is still bullish. That's bullish on the hard time frame. See this thing? This thing is actually low. I just wanna really understand how I can properly utilize this thing. But tap, and boom. Let's suppose rejection. You're taking rejection, closing in here. If it comes retracing somewhere inside here, you take a trade. That's 79, 80 handles, 100 handles almost. So yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, guys. That's how it's supposed to be. So no questions, nothing. KX, you wanna add something? A few words? Where's KX? He was here. Okay, he's gone. He's gone. But yeah, guys, you can just see this thing on every other asset class. It's gonna be the same thing over and over and over again. Bam, see? Even gold, I think it works. Just see this thing. It is almost like right to the perfect pip, and then pushes higher. So let's suppose you take this thing in ideas. If it's above, we are taking longs with bullish zones. Bullish zone, CST, long. Bullish zone, CST, tap, stops right below this thing, long. Bearish zone, you're not interested. You don't take a sell in bearish zones unless you cross this thing. Is it tough, guys? All you need to do is manage your risk. Once your risk is managed, what is it? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, guys? So I think that should be good enough. If there isn't any questions, I would like to end this thing over here. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Now is the time, and I'll be more than happy to answer it. This thing, it's above this thing. No more sells for me. No more sells. Above this thing, and okay, right there, it's above bullish zone, which is below this. I'm not going to take the idea. So anything that forms above here, probably I can take the idea and look at something else. But now see, this is multiple confluences trying to mix up with each other. Bearish zone, bullish areas. Like above this thing, you're expecting market to be green candles, printing green candles, staying above this thing, above the line. But if you have a bearish area and then a bullish direction from reversal, what do you expect? What do you expect? 4 words. CHOP. Chop, chop, chop. It's gonna be range bound, up and down, unless it smashes through this thing like in a second, bye bye, gone. Then you'll be like, okay, one of these worked and I can take my trades finally. But if it starts lagging in between, touching this, coming back, touching this, coming back, then you are in a trouble, and I would tell you guys to avoid it and stay away from it. All right. So no questions, anyone? Don't be shy. I'm not gonna eat you. It's not the bear. It's actually the wind call, but at a H1. So see this thing. You see this right over here. It was actually not showing up, so I actually mark my levels from H1, H4 to uh, show them on low time frames, so I can have an idea. So I see this thing M15. It does not show this level, which is the H1 level. So I just actually marked it, and it shows up. So it's in a bearish area. It is being retested in a bearish zone. So this is the H4 bearish zone, H4 bullish zone. So you see now over here, when it was wicking this thing right here in this specific wick from 9 AM candle, there is nothing bullish, just something below over here. So you can use these zones as on a low time frame. By marking them, it will help you identify where you are and how the scenario is. And you can also, I think so, you can change the settings on the reversal. You can actually change the MA length or what type of it is, SMA, EMA. I'm not sure with this thing because I've never traded such uh, with such moving averages or stuff. But if this helps you, you can definitely change things around it. And it's all about the edge, right? It's nothing about being fancy or like knowing every single thing. So yep. Any other questions, guys? There is no stupid questions, so don't be shy if you're thinking that your question is going to be stupid. There is no stupid questions. There is no dumb questions. Everything is sensible, and everyone has a different level in the game. Everyone's at different levels. Some are 10 years past in this thing, some are 2 years. So don't be shy. This is the last time, and then after this, I'm going to end the call because I have explained every single thing. And you can feel free to DM me or ask in the random chats in the chill zone if you have any doubt or any questions. If you wanna buy this thing, hit up Katherine, uh, and I believe try this thing, give it a go. Don't give it a go for like 1 or 2 days. Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan for 3-4 weeks, and you yourself will see a difference. And don't try to over leverage. Like, suppose one day you're taking a trade from this thing and you're risking uh, $200, but the other day you're risking $700. That's not fair. That's not the indicator not working or indicator not providing correct signals. That is you being a smartass and risking different amounts and working your way with it. It does not work like that. So you see this thing? In such scenarios, you don't try to mess with this thing. You either wait for things to be done or you try to sit aside. We can have one of these calls later on as well. Like, I'm 100% down. Like, I could hop on some other day as well and do it once again. But this time I think so I need to probably have this thing in a different room so I can have all my audiences combined and no one faces any issue. Uh, okay, can you go through the example of how you would use Axia on just an hour of block time? When you say an hour block of time, you mean The trading range is 1 hour only, or the trading session is 1 hour only? Okay, so you just mean the range is 1 hour and the trading session is 1 hour. Okay, sure, that's fine. We can do that. No biggies. Okay, got you, my friend, got you. So 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. 9 a.m. I bet. Bam. Okay. Let's open this up. Let's jump on a 5 minute, and it's Monday, bullish and welfare. Cool. Oh, I didn't check Monday. Once again, sorry. So, see this thing. Everything is checked. Now, the issue with such things is that you wouldn't get enough data. Okay, you see this thing? Just 17. Now, if I probably take this thing out of context, like remove the week, I get 70 total sessions. But again, the values on this thing cannot be computed because it's a very small range of session, and a very small range of time that you are looking to be traded in. Unless it is something that happens very often, then you can go for it. But usually the 8 a.m. hour is filled with newses. Okay, I'm just talking about what I know in general about this fact. But let's suppose rather than taking 1 hour of a block, and you make it 2 hours, and make this thing 2 hours as well, and then probably try, see this thing. So it is bearish. Okay, cool. So my trading session is 8 to 10. My range session is 6 to 8. Market opens up a 93% probability of hitting this thing. Session opens up here, trade session, not market, trade session opens up in here at 8, right there. Opens, bam, hits this right away. Once it's a hit, there is 86.1% probability of this thing hitting that high after it has hit the open of what do you call it? The trade session open, or whatever the scenario is, or the equilibrium. My bad, this is the equilibrium. Once the equilibrium is hit, it has a 86.1% probability of hitting the high. Bam, the high has been hit again. Now this is continuous targets. Like if you're taking trade from here, so if I were you and if I were trading this thing, let's suppose I see an expansion, bam, failed to expand right there. There'd be something on M1, H1 that would say, okay, I can buy this thing. If not, I would just buy a CSD of this order block. Stops right there, targeting this. It's not a huge position, but I'm saying just like this because the range is very small. That's the idea. Or I would keep an open profit, open TP. Why? Because the range is small and I want to target big, and market open is right on the corner. CSD hits, bam, 86.1% is hit. Once it is hit, now comes the probability of 75%. I can keep my TP right there and walk away. You could take this to break even if you want to, but you really stopped out, or just leave it, and that's how I would do it. Once it is hit, it has a 53.5% probability of hitting this thing. Bam, this thing was crazy because you don't expect such things, like both sides swept and then again it's running higher. That's something crazy, but all right, it has hit this thing and it's gone. So everything was swept in this. You just go and hide this thing. It's all tick 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 ticks. Like, see this thing, everything is a tick 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 on this specific range. It's a very small range, but that's how you do it. I wouldn't advise 1 hour for block because that would not show up enough ranges. But yeah, see this thing. I think when I mark up, yeah, this is enough. See, enough ranges. 30 days enough. That works fine. So try to keep your sessions a bit longer and the trade sessions as well, and you would see results for sure. I'm sure you will see results, good results. Any other question? Any other questions? No worries, man. No worries. No worries. Happy to help. Happy to help. All right, guys. Okay, if there is no questions, that'll be it. Thank you guys for coming. Do you use fib levels? Nope, I don't. I haven't even used them ever. I think that they are there, but I have never used them. And I'm not a huge fan of fib levels, so dot dot dot. But I'm testing something, as you know, on the other channel, on the other Discord, but nothing that is related to this. So if you like the fib levels, go ahead, you can use it, but not my style. Not my style. I think this is way more than enough. Once you have different ranges and different times and stuff, you can actually track so much. Like you could take every H4 range, so 6 to 10, and trade from 10 to, what is it, 14? Yeah, I suppose. So this is every H4 range. So it has a 82.4% probability of coming back to this. So who's going to take a trade on this thing? Oh, 1 second. My bad, I haven't fixed it. That is middle third and bullish. Let's see. See? And now see this thing. This is the issue again. Once you start using like having different ranges, you need to also match proper what you call total number of sessions. If it's red, it's not good. So what I do is simple. Probably turn up the days of the week, which is the least. I think so. I feel like the least useful thing, and bam, 31.4% of this hitting, or 34.3% of this coming back to this. Up to you if you want to take that as a trade. So different sessions and wind call areas, bam, they go hand in hand. Any other questions? No, nah, nada, neither. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys again probably sometime next week, maybe. No worries, no worries, Daywalker, no worries. I hope this helps you guys, and you can also achieve what we are all here to achieve. It's not fancy Lamborghinis or fancy penthouses. It's just profitability and consistency and probably extra some income. It's not this. You won't sit here and make millions. Probably you can, but in the early stages, no. So it's just some extra amount or income streams, and let's be logical to ourselves, and we should not lie to ourselves that we can get this, we can that from that. Yes, it is recorded. Don't worry for that. Don't worry about that. It's recorded. I'll post it. No, I'll send it to Kat, and then she can share with you guys. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have fun. Take care, and I'll see you guys again sometime. So, bye bye and stay safe. Peace.